Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert's Portrait. I'm your host, Robert. Yeah, I know it's a little different here. Stupid internet where I live at, and it takes like forever to upload videos, and I'm getting this video up here pretty late, so it'll still be about 10-12 hours, even on my phone, to get it uploaded. So, I got games here for Thursday for the whole NFL Week 12. So I figured I'd just do it this way and get them up. So they should be up way before the games start, hopefully. So we got 3 big games on Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone out there. We have the Minnesota Vikings 6-4 versus the Detroit Lions 6-4. Currently, Detroit is leading the division. They have the tiebreaker over Minnesota. In Week 9, Detroit beat the Vikings 22-16. Right now, it seems like this is basically for the NFC North title, or at least a long way closer to winning the NFC North title. Detroit's technically leading the division. Minnesota is actually half game out of the wild card. Minnesota started in season 5-0, 1-4 since. Obviously, no Bradford filling in for Teddy Bridgewater, no Peterson. The O-line's banged up. There is a rumor, I guess you would call it. I heard that AP may be back week 15, 16, maybe week 17. So that would be very interesting to see if he is able to come back from that knee injury. Detroit, annual Thanksgiving Day game. They're favored by 2.5 at home. Just the 1-4 in the last 5 games for the Vikings. They just fell off a lot. I'm picking Detroit to win. I get them covering the 2.5, and I'm taking under on the 43. The middle game, we have the 6-3-1 Washington Redskins versus the NFL's best record at Dallas Cowboys at 9-1. How about them Cowboys? Under rookie Dak Prescott, rookie Ezekiel Jackson. Unbelievable season for them. 9 straight wins for the kid. Week 2, Dallas beat Washington 27-23. Dallas favored by a touchdown at home. Obviously, Dallas going for the best record. If they're able to get that, all playoff games will go through the Big D and Jerry's Palace. Washington is a half game up on the second place wild card. So this could actually be a playoff preview here. Like I said, Dallas favored by a touchdown. Got them winning. I got them covering. I got over on the 51. I think it's going to be a pretty close game to week 2. I need to be maybe 27-25, maybe 29-23 to get my 51 and get over on the 51, but we'll see what happens there. In the third and final game on Thanksgiving, we have a battle of the 5 and 5s in the AFC. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers at 5 and 5 versus the Indianapolis Colts at 5 and 5. Both teams are 2 games out of the wild card race. Pittsburgh is tied with Baltimore for the AFC North lead, and Indy is 1 game behind the Texans for the AFC South. The actual line on this game is Pittsburgh by 9. I'm giving the 9 points to Indianapolis. Pittsburgh will cover that 9, and I'm getting Colts to win. Indy, the 9 points, Pittsburgh to cover the 9, and under on the 47.5. Next, we have the Arizona Cardinals, 4-5-1 versus the 6-4 NFC South leading Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta's favored by 4. I have them winning, covering, and over on the 15.5 points. Next, we have the 3-6-1 Cincinnati Bengals versus the 5-5 Baltimore Ravens. Cincinnati, despite being under 500, is only a game and a half behind Baltimore Ravens for the division. Baltimore favored by 4. I got them winning, covering, and under on the 40.5. Probably the biggest surprise of the year, the 2-8 Jacksonville Jaguars. Is Blake Bortles not that good this year, or is he just not that good in general? I don't know. I had Jacksonville as a wildcard team in my playoff prediction show, so I'm just kind of struck here why they're so bad. So we have versus the 5-5 Buffalo Bills. Buffalo's 2 games out of the AFC wildcard, so obviously with 6 weeks to go, 6 games to go in the season, this is game 11, so we get 5 more weeks besides this. It's a must win for teams like this if you want to make a playoff push. Buffalo is favored by 7 at home. I got them winning and covering and under on the 44.5. Tennessee Titans at 5-6 versus the 2-8 Chicago Bears. Titans favored by 5.5. I have them winning, covering, and under on the 42. I'm not going to go on how bad Cutler is, how bad the Bears are. We all know that. This team's even worse. We have the 7-3 New York Football Giants versus the 0-11 Cleveland Browns. Can the Browns win a game this year? No. New York is the top NFC wildcard team. They are 2 games behind Dallas for the NFC East lead. Giants are favored by 6.5 on the road. I have them winning, covering, and under on the 44. Next, we have the San Diego Chargers at 4-6 versus the kind of surprising Houston Texans at 6-4. Despite the bad play by Brock Osweiler, Houston is 6-4. The Texans need to keep on winning. They are +1 game on Indy for the AFC South. San Diego's favored by 1.5, which was kind of shocking to me. Given the 1.5 to Tennessee, so I got Tennessee +1.5 and under on the 46 with a Texans lead or win, excuse me. The 1-9 San Francisco 49ers. Don't know who's worse, the 49ers or the Browns. 1-9 Niners versus the 6-4 Miami Dolphins. Miami's 1 game out of the AFC wildcard race. They're favored by 7.5 against the Niners. I've been winning, covering, and under on the 45.5. Battle of the 4-16 with the Los Angeles Rams versus the New Orleans Saints. Both teams 4-6. Really, I mean, finally, Jared Goff got a start last week. Obviously, the jury's still out on that. Why you wait till week 11 to get your first NFL start when you're the #1 draft pick? When Case Keenum is the starter? Jeff Fisher's just trying not to. I don't see him getting fired. I don't see them doing it for any reason. This is kind of a lame duck year for him. I think it's either next year or the year after before the new stadium's built. So I think they have time to build it up in Los Angeles because the newness factor is still there. And then once the new stadium gets there, then I think the first year of the new stadium, they can be lackluster. But then they got to start winning to get people in there. I'm actually picking the Rams to win here. Every time I pick them, they lose. New Orleans favored by a touchdown at home. I'm giving the touchdown to the Rams. So I got the Rams with a win, +7, with New Orleans covering the 7 and under on the 45.5. Next, we have the 7-2-1 NFC South or NFC West leading Seattle Seahawks versus the 5-5 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Seattle is second best record in the NFC right now. They're only 1.5 games behind Dallas. Tampa Bay is a game and a half out of the wild card. So if Seattle's going for the best record and if Tampa Bay is going for the playoff push, they both have must wins. Seattle's favored by 5.5 on the road. I had them winning, covering, and over on the 45. Next, the other big surprise of the year besides Jacksonville, the 4-6 defending NFC champion Carolina Panthers versus the 8-2 big surprise there, Oakland Raiders. The Raiders leading the AFC. What gets better than that? A team that nobody wants. Obviously, Oakland didn't want him. They bailed on a stadium plan. I guess it's going to be the Las Vegas Raiders, the Nevada Raiders, and then the LA Chargers. I guess they'll be moving in with the Rams next year or the year after, whenever. So we can have 3 teams move in 2 years. 2 teams to LA, the Rams and the Chargers, and then the Las Vegas Raiders. Going on a win, maybe Super Bowl winning Las Vegas Raiders. Who knows? So yeah, they're tied. Oakland's tied with New England for the best record in the AFC at 8-2. Oakland is only favored by 3.5 at home. Picking the Raiders to win. They'll cover the 3.5 and then under on the 49. Next, we have the New England Patriots at 8-2 versus the 3-7 New York Jets. Geno Smith, Bryce Petty, Ryan Fitzpatrick. Who's your quarterback? Why is Fitzy playing? I mean, he's horrible. He played himself out of a job, but you'd rather put him in there and lose versus putting Bryce Petty in there. So why is Bryce Petty on your roster if that's the case? New England favored by 9. They win. They cover under 47. One of the best moves by the NFL this year, flex scheduling the 7-3 Kansas City Chiefs versus the 7-3 Denver Broncos, flexing at the Sunday Night Football. Wow. Oakland leading the division 8-2. Both these teams at 7-3. Both these teams leading the AFC wild cards. So 3 of the 4 teams it looks like out of the AFC West will be in the playoffs, hopefully. With an Oakland loss, Kansas City win, Kansas City be leading the division because they beat Oakland already this year. If Denver wins, Oakland will still be in the division lead because Oakland beat Denver. This is the 113th game in the rivalry of Denver, Kansas City. Chiefs lead at 57-55. Kansas City's won 9 out of the last 12. They won 7 straight until last year, and they lost 29-13 in Denver. Denver's favored by a field goal at home. And I am going with the Chiefs. I'm giving the Chiefs the 3 points. So Chiefs +3 against the Denver Broncos. And they will cover the 3 and over on the 39.5. Next, we have Monday Night Football. We have the 4-6 Green Bay Packers, the 3rd worst record in the NFC. The Packers have the 3rd worst record in the NFC right now. Let that sink in for a second. Wow. Who's worse? 49ers? Bears and 49ers are the only 2 worst NFC teams in the Packers. Philadelphia 5-5. Carson Wentz still playing all right. Kind of came back to the pack. They're sitting there 5-5. 2 games out of the division. No, wait. 4 games out of the division. 3.5. They're favored by 3.5 here. So I got Philly winning. I'm covering the 3.5 and under on the 47.5. So that will wrap up the games for the week number 12. I do want to kind of say something about the officiating last week. Seriously, that was officiating. I mean, I don't know what the problem is here, people. But why can't we have full-time officials that know what the hell they're doing and they understand what these calls are? I mean, come on, really? I don't get it. I mean, I could probably do better. I'm not saying I would. I probably could. If we can't get it right with replay, let's not have replay. I don't understand the sideline when I think it was Hopkins. He wasn't out of bounds. So why couldn't they call the play dead? When they reviewed it, go, okay, he didn't go out of bounds. So where we call the play dead, whatever he was at, you give the ball back to them and put him there. Simple enough. I don't understand it all. But the officials need to do better. I don't get it. I think the scrub officials were better. We all know how bad that was. Just last week I was 10-4 in win-loss, 7-7 against the spread, and 10-4 in over-unders. So not a horrible week last week. So that will wrap up week 12 of the NFL football season. As always, thanks for watching the Average Sports Show, and just don't have a great night. Have an American night.